The city of Addis is always welcoming. It is always welcoming. I'm really happy and enjoying it. We must build something that will save us and our people. So if you have a business on this soil, on this continent, your business should better be informed on how to help those communities. Thank you so much, Business Network. My name is Loretta Boniface. I'm an environmentalist from Nigeria. I'm also the co-founder and executive director of EcoCycle. EcoCycle is a youth-led organization which is focused on driving circular economy and climate action in Nigeria. And our project and activities mostly is supporting livelihood for young people and women through sustainable waste management. So you will find EcoCycle in communities, training women on upcycling, recycling, and alternative to plastic, basically, especially the single-use plastic. You will find EcoCycle in schools across Nigeria, training young children on climate education, what they need to know about the environment, the problems in the environment, and also some of the environmental solutions that they can actively engage in. You'll find EcoCycle partnering with government in the aspect of policy to see the gaps that are there for young people and to see how we can bring in innovation at the heart of policy and in the implementation of some of those policies in Nigeria. It's exciting to be in the town of Addis again, and this time for the Climate Change Summit, and it started on the 8th of September, which started with a very high-level panel and a high-level plenary session. And it's very interesting to see that once again the African leaders are coming together. This is the second time. The first Climate Summit was in Nairobi in Kenya. That was in 2023, and we're here again 2 years later to come again with fresh and more powerful statements, I think, this time, because this time more than ever we need to build unitedly, and we have seen the shift in the funding sphere, and as Africa we must come up with bold statements on our way to COP30 in Brazil. It is good that we come up with consolidated positions that will speak to us as Africans, speak to our needs, speak to our realities that we're lived with. It is no longer news that the impact of climate change is eating us deeply, and it is peculiar. We have peculiar hazard in different locations. When you go to Nigeria, we have issues we're faced with. Just last month, there was a flooding in a community in Niger State. A lot of women, young people lost their livelihood, and we're talking about this forced migration. We're talking about the economical and the uneconomical losses that people have to face with. We're talking about drought. We're talking about agriculture that is threatened, and we know that when you talk about agriculture, you talk about Africa. And when these things are threatened by this impact, that means we have to rethink the kind of position we take to some of the global climate negotiations, and we have to stand our feet to see that some of those demands, some of those positions are really enacted and still feed back to our policies when we come home, because it doesn't stop at this level. So you don't come here, make the bold statements at the regional level and the global level, and you think that is where it stops. You should bring it back to policies at home, policies that will touch the grassroots, because actually that is where the problem is. So I think that is just in summary what the Climate Summit is all about. And even for young people, because I can see a lot of young people in this summit, most of them attending side events, some of them coming to showcase their innovations, even I included. I'm here to showcase some of our innovations on the plan game. That's the climate action game, which is a very innovative tool for learning climate action in Africa. It's currently a game that it's in 11 countries already, and to see that young people are bringing in innovation means that honestly we're really ready for the journey to transition into renewable and a just future, greener future for everyone. Okay, I think the summit, want to prepare our minds for what is about to come and what we are living in right now. And that is why I think even leaders are here to talk about this problem, because before now it used to be like a problem that the leaders shy away from, but now we even have our nationally determined contributions, and Nigeria just submitted our NDC 3.0, that's the updated to the third version right now. And this means that as a country you also have your contribution to these issues. So this is the place where you come to showcase what those contributions are, what you are contributing, and what your demands are going forward. So you should be able to showcase, as a country, as a government, you should be able to showcase what you have been able to do. We are talking about the just transition, we're talking about a sustainable road, we're talking about climate finance. So it shouldn't come from a place of always demanding. It should also come from what is the African soil doing to sustain financing and help the vulnerable communities, even as climate justice is concerned. So these are the kind of conversations that I think are thriving in this summit, and I appreciate that. For businesses, I think I see a lot of businesses integrating ESG, that's the environmental, social, and governance aspect in their businesses. And also this is able to inform even their CSR, that's the corporate social responsibilities. And it is better informing them in their operations, better informing them on what kind of impact their businesses should make on the soil. So your business should be able to finance some of these people to transition seamlessly, if you're talking about transitioning. So if you have a business on this soil, on this continent, your business should better be informed on how to help those communities. So it is what every actor must come and play a part. It is not left for the government alone. It's not left for the innovators alone. It is all actors putting hands together. That's why I say we must build unitedly. So there's no community that is actually immune to the impact. So when you think your business is saved, it's just a matter of time. So today your business is saved, tomorrow it might not be saved. There's an angle to the impact that will affect your business. So the earlier you prepare, I think this is just about early warning and preparedness for everybody. So the earlier you prepare, the better you're able to sustain your business for now, for the future. From the angle of Nigeria, we have wonderful policies. And it's interesting that sometimes when you come to this summit like this and you find that your country has a policy that is really needed by the people, but then you go back home and you see that there are still gaps. Implementation is still poor. We still have a lot of countries in Africa that the implementation of policy is still poor, and people are not inclined with the realities on these policies. Until you make it for the people, the policies for the people, it cannot thrive. And that is why I say it, because I'm also into circular economy. I'm driving circular economy in my country. And whenever we talk about circular economy in the context of Nigeria, I tell people that circular economy can only work when you look at our reality, what circularity means for us, what producing for durability means for Nigerians, not a copy and paste policy. You cannot copy a policy that worked for someone there and come and paste it for us here. We would see it is beautifully written, but it doesn't apply to us. So some of these things should be a gap that should be noticed and addressed. So going forward, I think even while these conversations are going on and the policies feed back, it should look at the realities of these local communities and the grassroots communities. There is no better time to have those conversations than now. And when I attended the first climate summit, I was really, really impressed to see that, for the first time we're having an African summit by Africans. because it used to be like the global summit, the COPs, and you go there, sometimes the weather is not even accommodating, you're not able to sit and have a conversation. Even the bilateral and the multilateral meetings are really so scary, you can't. So this is a time where you face each other. It's actually supposed to be a round table conversation where we face each other by the face and say, oh, you are my brother, I am your brother. You are my sister, I am your sister. What is best for us? We understand this impact. We live with those people. We understand how livelihoods are affected. What can be done? And so that comes to where leadership is needed. So should we have, at this point, I think we should have like a global president for the climate summit that is anchoring, sharing, and doing everything. But then we are making daily progress. Most importantly, the conversations are progressing little by little, step by step. It's worse if the conversation is not there at all. But once the conversation is in, it can only get better. For this summit, I expect in the next, since it's a biennial meeting that happens every 2 years, in the next 2 years, I want to attend a summit where I would see innovation at the heart of the summit. Because again, it's an era for young people to thrive. So I want to see a kind of summit that structure a reward system for innovators. People that tilt towards green innovation, young people that are doing their best in their locality, at national level, to see that they are bringing change in a creative and innovative way. I want to see a summit where leaders are coming and having a good conversation, a bilateral conversation with young people, demanding from us, not only giving us a seat at the table, but also demanding from us what we want to see, because the mantle is being passed to us. In the next 40, 50 years, none of them will be here, but I will be here by God's grace, and my fellow young people will be here. If we don't inform ourselves, if we don't get inclined with this conversation at this point, we are still going to repeat the same pattern over and over. And also, lastly, I would say that unity for us is where the strength lies at this point. Our voice should not crack a bit in unity. It should be our stronghold. We are our people. We are the people. We should see how we can unite to make a difference. To have a climate structure that would benefit the people. In Nigeria, right now, we're faced with all the impacts of climate change. You name it. The heat wave, the change in rainfall pattern. A lot of farmers are crying. And that is where the context of if GMO or non-GMO will come in. Because actually, a lot of issues we're faced with. It is even springing up a lot of insecurities. People are not able to go to their farms because of the scarcity in resources. So these are real issues. So the policies, the innovation should tilt towards helping the common man, the grassroots communities. That is where the cry is for. And our little action matters. We must put all hands on deck. Every actor, no matter where you're coming from and no matter what level you are, your hand is needed in this solution. So this is part of the reason why I'm here in the summit, to also talk about this climate action game. It's a game created by my organization to educate people on climate change, because we have been engaging with communities and we find a lot of people see climate terms as being abstract and they don't really want to engage. But having a fun way to engage them by creating this game has been a game changer. Like it has changed and simplified what used to be like holistically difficult for people to understand. So it's a game that really outlined the climate problems and solutions. So while you're playing it, you would find problems like flooding, you will find problems like deforestation, droughts, and you will find solutions like climate smart agriculture. But not only are you playing a solution, it's also explained to you why this is a solution to the problem that is in your community. So you're also seeing it and you're saying, how can I practicalize? It's bringing that knowledge. How can I practicalize this solution? And recently a research has been carried out to show that it boosts knowledge retention among young people. So the more young people play it, the more they have boosted knowledge on the subject matter. They have boosted knowledge on environmental issues and solutions. That with the dam, actually, when I saw it, it was fascinating to see that this is happening on this continent, and to show that actually Ethiopians are taking the lead when you talk about conversations around innovation. Because I'm a young person that is particularly interested in innovation. Whatever sparks innovation is very good to my hearing and good to my sight as well. So the city of Addis is actually always welcoming. It is always welcoming. So chilled and welcoming. And I see it as a place of great opportunity where a lot of things can thrive. Businesses can thrive with support. So it's upon our leaders. It's the same thing everywhere. Africa is Africa everywhere. So it's just the countries that demarcate, but Africa is Africa everywhere. So it's for our leaders to really look at developing, look inwards at this point. We should really cut eyes on expecting that someone is coming to save us. We must build something that will save us and our people here. And also, lastly, we are the last generation to change things. If we mistakenly get it wrong, it's going to be a pattern that will continually be wrong. I'm really happy and enjoying it. Thank you.